Dr. Joseph Martin. Shame rules and ruins the world and our own sense of our self worth. And this is a call to unveil decency again within ourselves and institutions. So, shame is a key emotional state that people worldwide in all cultures, ages, backgrounds, genders, orientations, colors, religions feel these days. It's always been around. The world is run by shame institutions of school, the justice or injustice system, politics, taxation, government, military, and so on and on and on and on. All the institutions of society are based on shame. It's because at this level of human evolution, we haven't learned to become our true sense of our own self and identity, be comfortable with being ourself and having a unique identity, and having our own true humble self-worth on a high level. And because we have not achieved that, very few people, the absolute minority, maybe 1% of the world's population, we then get into superiority complexes, which we try to have power over other people. We either do it individually within our marriages or our families, with our children, with our brothers and sisters, with our parents, especially as they get to be elders, and there's a lot of elder abuse. We do it with our neighbors and our communities and our schools, our institutions, people of difference, meaning a different religion, color, age, gender, orientation, or whatever. And it's just rife throughout the whole society. The whole society is shame based. And we can say this not only about all the nations and ethnic groups of the planet and our global world civilization now, but all past previous civilizations and cultures and societies as well. So, what is shame? Shame is a feeling of guilt, embarrassment, disgrace, low self esteem, low self worth, a feeling of unworthiness, of being condemned, being imprisoned. It's like you have heavy, wet blankets on you. It feels like you're less than other people. People are putting you down, stepping on you. They're doing it purposefully or perhaps unconsciously, but they are doing it. And it's the lack of self that you feel. It's the lack of importance that you feel, as if you don't matter, as if you're an object. Shame makes you feel like you're not a person, you're an object, and you're not worth anything at all. Now, how many experiences have you had of shame in your life? Can you remember just a few of them? Probably two or three of the most important ones pop to your feelings and mind right now, your awareness. Yes, we all have had shame in our lives. And some of us, we still in our personalities have are shame based in our ego personalities. We still feel all the heavy weight of being unworthy, unloved, uncared for, and people taking away our power. So, to be ruled by means that someone has control or authority or power over you and has taken away your own power. Again, it makes you feel like you're worthless, that you have no choice, no power, no empowerment, and that you're meaningless to this other person. Increasingly in our society now in the 21st century, as we have greater population pressures and uh, natural resources pressures, there's diminished and used up, and lots of weather problems and challenges on the planet with global warming. It's more increasingly the case that people are trying to shame other people by and take away their power by taking away their power. If you shame someone, you intimidate them, you mock them, you bully them, you are making them feel less than, and you know that you're going to have that effect. Very few people yet are strong enough to stand up to someone who's trying to shame them. The goal of this process of I Am Self-Worth, this online self-help training program, is to help you stand up for yourself and find that inner spiritual, mental, emotional, physiological, and social relational empowerment so that you can stand up for yourself and stop the shame cycle. once and for all. You can do it, and I know you will. So, you can be ruled by other people shaming you, and it can ruin your life. It can disintegrate your sense of self worth and self esteem, your self confidence. It can disintegrate and destroy your sense of any identity of your worthiness and what you want to be or do or have in your world at any age. You don't have to be just a millennial or a teenager or a 20 something or 30 something. Even people in their 70s and 80s feel shamed and intimidated, and they just cave in, as it were, to the pressures of those around them who are taking power away from them. This is really stealing. Stealing power from somebody. You can steal their freedom, you can steal their truth, you can steal their livelihood, you can steal their emotional balance, you can steal their mental confidence, and you can steal their willpower. We've got many examples, whether it's the Holocaust or war situations or just the bullying of peers in texting or in schools, or whether it's the bullying of your boss. You can feel shame. And most importantly, I'd like you to consider the fact that your spouse or your significant other may be shaming you into staying in a relationship that's not healthy, in a subservient, enabling role. And this is something very important to think about and feel your way through. As you do, you'll come to the empowerment of self responsibility and increase your self worth. So, I would like to ask you right now, what is the level of your shame right now? If 10 would be high, if you're feeling a lot of shame as we're talking about all this, and just kind of reconnoiter with this for a while and maybe do some journal writing after you watch this video. You may want to watch the video again another time when you feel ready. And obviously, they can have an inverse effect on your self-worth meter. So 1 to 10, what is the level of your self-worth right now? If your shame is at 10, so very high, your self-worth could be at 0 or 1. And conversely, as you work through this program and this process of finding your self-worth and really embodying it in a humble way, then you'll see that your self-worth will increase to 8, 9, 10 out of 10, and the shame meter will go all the way down to 0. Because there are steps and thoughts and feelings and actions and words to say to people to break the shame cycle. Well, now, stories are always important, and I just watched this great movie last night called The Kite Runner. And this is an excellent example of two young boys, in this case in Afghanistan, but this is an archetypal primal story of two young boys. It could have been two sisters, two young girls in any culture at any time. But when you start to shame somebody, it only happens because you've stolen their truth and you've cut off your feelings from them. You've objectified them out of your own fear and your own shame, and you've made them a non-person. And you've broken a relationship that could have been a lifelong trusting friendship. It's an admirable story about the shame cycle and how, when you're ready to take empowerment and tell the truth, you can undo, although there's been much pain and suffering in the emotional relationship, you can undo through forgiveness and asking for forgiveness, both from source and spirit and from the other person, and redeem yourself. So remember, shame is stealing, whether it's stealing someone's truth or their loyalty or their friendship or stealing something important personally. It's not material objects that get stolen. It's you're stealing someone's self-worth and sense of humanness, even mattering as a human being. You're stealing their sense of purpose and power and meaning. Now, we can also say that what's missing in the world through all of this is that people get more anxious and more frightened and more bullying other people to get what they want or need or desire in the world. It's like people don't matter and it seems to be more and more the case, even more people doing this. Perhaps you've noticed it in the business world or among neighbors. There seems to be more competition, and people's mindset is about competition, and I need to get what I want for myself. And if I have to steal it or take it or shame or intimidate somebody to get it, whether it's money or goods or services or resources or fame or fortune or whatever it may be, then I'm going to do it. Perhaps you've been feeling this way as you've been noticing people around yourselves, and maybe even feeling in yourself that sometimes you feel like doing this to other people as well in order to get your way and what you want. So, this is a basic call to occupy decency. Decency for yourself and decency for all your relationships in the world, and how you treat people and how you think about people and feel about people. To treat them as human beings equal to yourself, just the same as yourself. So, what is decency? Decency is virtues, it's morality, it's a higher sense of ethics, decency and justice and equitability. It's also a sense of worthiness. Your self worth will only increase when you become decent with yourself and decent and supportive with other people. Basically, it comes down to a very simple equation. It's about kindness, being trustworthy, and keeping your word, being very kind of clear and straightforward and pure with other people. And of course, you can only do this with others when you've first done this with yourself. And the key to all this is the only thing that will bring you happiness. And happiness is what each and every human being on the planet has always and only wanted. And to attain that happiness, you can only do it through being decent, and that comes from being kind and loving in every thought, feeling, word, action, deed, and event with people you know and with strangers, and make the strangers your friends. They're just a person like yourself, and we're all one here on the planet. So the key then is love and friendship and happiness, the things we all want and need in order to survive and give us hope and a sense of meaningful purpose and a sense of just joy. That can only come through unveiling decency. And to do that, you need to break the shame cycle, and there'll be a lot more of this in other upcoming videos in the I Am Self-Worth online self-training program. So I wish you all well in this path and process. I know you can and will do this. It's important because this aspect of breaking the shame cycle and becoming the innate kindness and gentleness that you are is really core and key to living a happy life. Dr. Joseph Martin, Om Namah Shivaya.